Hello everyone, welcome to our online video tutorial series, and today we'll discuss about class 11th topic, principle of mathematical induction. So let's start our today's class. So first of all, what is this principle of mathematical induction? To understand that, we will start with our word statement. Actually, a statement is a meaningful sentence which can be judged to be either true or false. That means in every case it will be either a true or a false case. It cannot be like that. It may be true or may be false. So that means a meaningful sentence that can be judged to be either true or false is called a statement. Now, a statement which involves mathematical relation is called mathematical statement. That means that involves mathematical signs, symbols, everything. That is a mathematical statement. So to prove any logic, whether it is correct or wrong, there are two ways, that is the induction and deductions are two basic processes of reasoning. So let's discuss them in detail. What is that induction and deduction process? So first we will discuss about deduction process. So what is a deduction? Deduction is an application of a general case to a particular case. Let's take an example. 8 is divisible by 2. This is one of the statement. Any number divisible by 2 is an even number. This is the second statement. So you can see that both the statements are true. And by observation, we can conclude it to a third statement, which means 8 is an even number. 8 is divisible by 2. Any number which is divisible by 2 is an even number. That's why 8 is an even number. This process from general case to a particular case we reached, this is known as the deduction method. So if the statement A and B are true, then the truth of C is established. So deduction in a nutshell is given a statement to be proven, often called a conjecture or a theorem in mathematics. Valid deductive steps are derived and a proof may or may not be established. Deduction. So what is then induction? So in the contrast or to deduction, inductive reasoning depends upon working with each case. So here we will discuss about each and every case involved in developing a theorem by observing incidences till we have observed each and every case. So how we will observe this each and every case? Let's understand it. Induction, the word conjecture, induction means generalization from a particular cases or facts. From observations we arrived at tentative conclusions called conjectures. The process of induction helps in improving the conjectures which may be true. What is then mathematical induction? In algebra or in other discipline of mathematics, there are certain results of statement that are formulated in terms of n, where n is a positive integer. For an example, sum of even positive integers, sum of n natural numbers, sum of squares of n positive integers. So these are the few examples of the statement that are formulated in terms of n. So mathematical induction is a technique for proving statement, a theorem, a formula that asserted the about every natural number. So by every and all natural number means we mean any one of that we name. For example, if I say for the natural numbers 85, then it is true for n is equal to 85. If I say that it's 115, so that statement must be true for n is equal to 115. For an example, so this is a statement that sum of first n natural numbers will be n into n plus 1 by 2. The statement asserts a formula to find the sum of first n natural numbers. So let's check it for n is equal to 1. So if I take n is equal to 1, so this side 1 and this side if I put n is equal to 1, it will become 1 by 2 instead of n 1, and this will become 1 plus 1, that is 2. So if I simplify this, half into 2 and it will be cancelled. So right hand side will also be equal to 1. So I can declare that it is true for n is equal to 1. Similarly, I can check it for n is equal to 2. For if I take n is equal to 2 in this statement, then 1 plus 2 in the left hand side, that is 3, And right hand side, if I say half n is 2, then n plus 1, that is 2 plus 1 will become 3, and 2 and 2 cancel. So it is true for n is equal to 2. Similarly, I can check it for n is equal to 3, 4, 5. So how we can check it, this rule, for every value of n? Should I have to continue like this? Because the natural numbers are infinite, so I cannot check like that. So what process I have to adopt? The method of proof is the following. So then show that if statement is true for any specific number k, for example let it be 85, then it is also true for its successor, that is k plus 1, that is 86. So how it will help us? Then show that the statement will be true for 1, then it follows the statement will be true for 2. How? If it is, see, if I can prove that if a statement is true for k, then it is true for its successor, that is k plus 1. It means that a statement which is true for 1 will be true for 2, which is true for 2 will be true for 3. 3 then leads to 4. So it will be true for any natural number we name. So this is called principle of mathematical induction. So principle of mathematical induction, you can see a picture here to understand it more clearly. It has basically two parts. So we will start with the n is equal to 1. So we will start with n is equal to 1. First we will check for n is equal to 1. Then if it is true for n is equal to k, then we will prove that it is true for n is equal to k plus 1. And this staircase, see, suppose we have an staircase, an infinite staircase we have. If we can reach to the first step of the staircase, second part says that if we can reach to a particular step of the staircase, then we can reach to the next step. That means if I am here, I can go there. And if I am here, I can go to the next step. Likewise, if I am on a particular step, I can proceed to next of its step. Now, if we see both the pictures jointly, then if I can reach at 1, that means I can reach at 2. If I can reach at 2, I can reach at 3. From 3 to 4, so on, 5. So then by applying 2, we can reach to a second step, applying 2 again, third step, so on, we can go no matter. So this part 2, if you look at this picture, this step is known as inductive hypothesis, this step. So if the statement provided is true for n is equal to k, and if it satisfies the value n is equal to k, then it is also satisfied for n is equal to k plus 1. In order to prove the trueness of the statement, we have to prove n is equal to k plus 1. Because, so another example of principle of mathematical induction is the falling of the dominoes. You may notice that if first domino falls, it will lead to second, third, fourth, so on. It is an infinite loop. So this is another example. You may have noticed that pushing the cycles in the cycle stand is the example of mathematical inductions. Making the tiles to stand in a row and then pushing the first tile will lead to the fall of the all other successor tiles. So what are the working rules? Consider a statement Pn where n is a natural number. Then to determine the validity of the statement for every n, we will use the following principle. First, check whether the statement is true for n is equal to 1. This is known as simply a statement of fact. Assume that given statement is also true for n is equal to k, where k is any positive integer. This is known as the inductive hypothesis. And the third step, prove that the result is true for n is equal to k plus 1 for any positive integer k. This is known as the conditional probability. That means it will depend upon the value of k. It does not assert that the given statement is true for n is equal to k, but only that if it is true for n is equal to k, then it is also true for n is equal to k plus 1. And the above mentioned conditions are satisfied, then it can be concluded that statement is true for all n belongs to natural numbers. So let's do some practical problems. Prove the following by using principle of mathematical induction for all n belongs to natural numbers. So this is my statement. 1 plus 3 square plus 3 cube up to 3 raised to power n minus 1. And we have to prove that this is equal to 3 raised to power n minus 1 by 2. Let's first check it, the statement for n is equal to 1 first. So if I take n is equal to 1, then what I have to do? I have to take left hand side 1. So left hand side is 1, and right hand side, if I put the n is equal to 1, it will become 3 raised to power 1 minus 1 by 2. 3 raised to power 1 is 2 minus 1, that is 2 by 2, it is equal to 1. So it is true. Second step will be, we will assume that the result is true for n is equal to k, where k belongs to natural number. So inductive hypothesis. So replace this n with k. The statement will look like 1 plus 3 square 3 cube up to 3 raised to power k minus 1. And right hand side will become 3 raised to power k minus 1 by 2. Now we will go to the third step. We will check it for n is equal to k plus 1. That means here we have up to k terms. I have to include one more term, that is k plus 1. How I will include that? I will extend this series for n is equal to k plus 1. So put n is equal to k plus 1. So if I put n is equal to k plus 1, this term will become 3 raised to power k plus 1 minus 1. So 3 raised to power k. That means the series will be extended up to 3 raised to power k, and right hand side will become 3 raised to power k plus 1 minus 1 by 2. So for this much of series, I can take it as 3 raised to power k minus 1 from step number 2. Let's put this value. Now let's take the LCM of both the terms and solve it. LCM will be 2. It will become 3 raised to power k minus 1 and 2 into 3 raised to power k. And from the first and this last term, if I take 3 raised to power k common, it will become, here it will be 1, here it will be 2, and this minus 1 I wrote in the last. So 2 plus 1 will become 3. So 3 raised to power k into 3 minus 1 by 2. So bases are same, so we will add the power and it will become 3 raised to power k plus 1 minus 1 by 2. And that's what we required, which is equal to our right hand side. So it is true for n is equal to k plus 1. So by principle of mathematical induction, the statement is true, and we can declare that by principle of mathematical induction, that statement is valid for all natural numbers n. Our next statement is show that sum of the odd numbers 1 plus 3 plus 5 up to 2n minus 1 is equal to n square. So same way we will have three steps. First step we will do is check the result for n is equal to 1. So if I take n is equal to 1, this side it will be 1 and this side it will become 1 square. So is 1 is equal to 1 square? Yes, that means it is true for n is equal to 1. Step number 2, we will assume that result is true for n is equal to k. So replace the n with k. So it will become 1 plus 3 plus 5 up to 2k minus 1 is equal to k square. So the statement becomes p for k. And step 3, now we'll check it for n is equal to k plus 1. So replace this n with k plus 1 to get the series extended up to k plus 1. So if I replace this to k plus 1 minus 1, so that's why my last term will become 2 into k plus 1 minus 1. Or what we can do, we can extend this series also. We can see that every time it is extending by 2. Next term is the 2a more than the previous term. So next term will become 2k minus 1 plus 2. That is 2k plus 1. Now up to this term I can write from the equation number 2 with the help of this inductive hypothesis. I can put it as k square. So let's put it as k square, and this is as it is. For these terms I used k square. Now on simplification it will give me k square 2 into k plus 2 minus 1, and it is equal to k square plus 2k plus 1, which is k plus 1 whole square. So left hand side is equal to right hand side. Hence I can say that it is true for n is equal to k plus 1. So by principle of mathematical induction, statement is true, or we can say that principle of mathematical induction, that the statement is valid for all natural numbers n. Take another example. Here is a statement 1 plus 5 plus 9 plus up to 4n minus 3, and we have to prove that this is equal to n into 2n minus 1. So 3 steps. First step is n is equal to 1. So let's check it for n is equal to 1. If I put n is equal to 1 here, so left hand side 1 and right hand side will become 1 into n is replaced with 1, 2 minus 1, and 1 into 1 will become 1. So it is true for n is equal to 1. Second step, we will assume that it is true for n is equal to k. So replace the n with k. So if I replace the n with k, it will be up to this. Now we will check it for n is equal to k plus 1. To check it for n is equal to k plus 1, I will replace this n with k plus 1. I will extend this series, or by the induction method also we can extend it by observation that 1 plus 5 plus 9, that means every next term is 4 more than the previous term. So you can write 4k minus 3 is my last term here up to k terms. My next term will be plus 4, that is 4k plus 1. Or what I can do, in place of that n, I can write k plus 1 minus 3, which is 4k plus 4 minus 3. So again 4k plus 1. And on right hand side also replace the n with k plus 1. Now place the value up to 4k minus 3 from the second step. So remember children, always we have to prove the third step with the help of second one. So up to this value, this is equal to 2 into k minus 1 from the step number 2. And let's simplify them. So it will become 2k square plus 3k plus 1. And on factorization, I'll get k plus 1 into 2k plus 1. And this can be written as k plus 1, 2k, and this plus 1 can be written as 2 minus 1. And if I take 2 common, I can say that it is k plus 1. If I take 2 common, 2 into k plus 1 minus 1, which is equal to the right hand side of the given statement. So hence it is true for n is equal to k plus 1, and by the principle of mathematical induction I can say that it is true for all natural numbers. Our next sum is, we have to prove that 7 raised to power n minus 2 raised to power n is divisible by 5. So first step will be, we will check the statement for n is equal to 1. So if I check it for n is equal to 1, replace the n with 1. So it will become 7 raised to power 1 minus 2 raised to power 1 is equal to 5. And which is equal to 5. So it is divisible by 5. I can declare that yes, it is true for n is equal to 1. Our second step will be, we will check it for n is equal to k, where k belongs to natural number. So replace the n with k, it will become 7 raised to power k minus 2 raised to power k is divisible by 5. And if a number is divisible by 5, I can say that it is a multiple of 5. That's why 7 raised to power k minus 2 raised to power k will be a multiple of 5, 5m. And take this minus 2 raised to power k to the right hand side, it will become 7 raised to power k is equal to 5m plus 2 raised to power k, and mark it as the statement 1. Now we will check it for k plus 1. So it will become, replace the n with k plus 1 here in the statement. K plus 1, 7 raised to power k plus 1 minus 2 raised to power k plus 1 is divisible by 5. Now we have to verify this result with the help of this one. So how I will check that? 7 raised to power k plus 1, I will split into two parts. That is 7 into 7 raised to power k. 7 raised to power k plus 1, that means base, if I split, I can say 7 raised to power k into 7 raised to power 1. And let's put the value of 7 raised to power k from the equation number 1 from here. So it will become 7 into 5m plus 2 raised to power k. And on simplification, I'll get 35m plus 7 into 2 raised to power k minus 2 raised to power k plus 1. And if I take 7 common, 2 raised to power k common from these two terms, then it will become 7 minus 2. 7 minus 2 will become 5. So now I can take the 5 common. So 5 into some number. So that means it is a multiple of 5. So if it is a multiple of 5, I can declare that yes, it is true for n is equal to k plus 1. So by principle of mathematical induction, we can say that it is valid for all natural numbers. Another problem is Pn is given 3 into 2 raised to power 2, 3 square into 2 cube plus 3 cube into 2 raised to power 4, so on up to 3 raised to power n and 2 raised to power n plus 1. And we have to prove that this is equal to 12 by 5 into 6 raised to power n minus 1. Step 1, we will check the result for n is equal to 1. So n is equal to 1 will give you 3 raised to power 3 into 2 raised to power 2 left hand side, and right hand side replace the n with 1, it will give 12 by 5 6 minus 1. So it will be 12 by 5 into 5. 5 and 5 cancel, so 12, and left hand side is 4 into 3 12. So it is verified. Second step, we will assume that it is true for n is equal to k and replace the n with k. So this will be k. Next we will write it for k plus 1, and for writing k plus 1, either we can extend this series or we can just directly put n is equal to k plus 1 here. So it will give you 3 raised to power k plus 1, 2 raised to power k plus 2. And on right hand side 12 by 5, it will become 6 raised to power k plus 1 minus 1, and up to k terms. This is my k plus 1th term. So before that we have k terms. So I know this value by equation number 1. So let's put the value from this. This is equal to 12 by 5 6 raised to power k minus 1. So 12 by 5 6 raised to power k minus 1 plus this term. And if I simplify them, see how to simplify 12 by 5 6 raised to power k minus 1, 3 into 3 raised to power k, 2 square into 2 raised to power k. So this extra 2 and this extra 1 I took it out. So which is equal to 12 by 5 6 raised to power k minus 1 plus 2 to the 4, 4 3 is 12, 12 into 6 raised to power k. Now take the LCM. LCM will be 5. 12 into 6 raised to power k minus 12. 12 into 5 into 6 raised to power k. And on simplification, if I take this 12 common from all the terms, it will be 6 raised to power k minus 1 plus 5 into 6 raised to power k. Take 6 raised to power k common from these two terms. 12, 6 raised to power k. Here it will be 1, here it will be 5. So into 6, that will make k plus 1 minus 1 by 5. So that is equal to our right hand side, which we have to prove. So this is equal to right hand side. So it is true for k plus 1, and by principle of mathematical induction I can say that it is true for all n belongs to natural number. Our next sum is statement is n into n plus 1 into n plus 2 is divisible by 6. So check it for n is equal to 1. It will give you 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1 plus 2, which is 6, which is divisible by 6. So it is true for n is equal to 1. Now we'll assume that it is true for n is equal to k. So replace this n with k. So it will become k plus 1, k plus 2 is divisible by 6. So if this number is divisible by 6, we can say that this number is a multiple of 6. So let it is equal to 6m. So for proving the statement for k plus 1, let's write it for k plus 1. Replace the n with k plus 1. So it will become k plus 1, k plus 1 plus 1 and k plus 1 plus 2, which is k plus 3. So this is divisible by 6 that we have to prove. And so proving that, what I will do, I'll take it as a unit and I will multiply it with k first and then second by 3. So how this will help us? Because I can put the value of this term from equation number 1. As I know that this is equal to 6m. And from the remaining part, if you observe, this is the two consecutive numbers, k plus 1, k plus 2. And out of any two consecutive natural numbers, one will be even. That means product of an odd number and even number will be an even number. And every even number is a multiple of 2. So I can take 6 common from these two terms. So what I have left? 6 into some integer. And if it is 6 into some integer, so I can say that this is also divisible by 6. So it is true for n is equal to k plus 1 and we can declare that k plus 1 is true. So by PMI, that it is true for all n belongs to natural number. That was all about this PMI. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much for being with us.